left inside there. So now with binomial examples, when you need to distribute, this is a monomial times a binomial, just like you would do if I gave you 3 times x minus 7. You need to distribute it to both. It just so happens that we have radicals, okay? So I'll do a couple of them with you. We'll start out with 15. So the coefficient in front of this square root of 10 is a 1, right? So we're going to multiply the 1 times the 5, and then the 10 times the 5 on the inside. So multiply the things on the outside together, multiply the things on the inside together. And then we distribute that to the second one as well. So that will be 2 square roots of 20. Now, we can't combine these yet. Why? Because the radicands are not the same. The indexes are, the radicands aren't. So we're going to simplify this. 5 and 10, 5 and 2. It takes 2 to pop 1 out. 5 goes on the outside, 2's on the inside. We'll do the same thing with 20. 2 and 10, 2 and 5. Oh, minus sign. And then that will be a 2 square roots of 5. Okay, so that'll be 25 square roots of 2 minus 4 square roots of 5. Now, we still can't combine these, but that's okay. Now it's completely simplified. We couldn't combine it up here. We can't combine it down here. That doesn't mean that the problem is wrong. We just had to simplify it. In other words, ending your problem like this would be like telling me 10/4 minus, 25ths, and saying, yeah, that's my final answer. There's nothing else I can do with it, right? So obviously that's not true. We can definitely continue to simplify that. It's just that we're not always going to combine them like you see here, okay? So for number 14, anytime you see that squared, I get on everybody about this. People think that they can just square both of them. That is not the case. Do not do that. It gives me nightmares. Not really, but just don't do it, okay? So we have to write it twice. Anytime you have something squared, you have to write it twice. And now we'll distribute in FOIL, just like usual. So it'll be 16 minus 4 square roots of 5 minus 4 square roots of 5 again. And then we have a negative square root of 5 times a negative square root of 5. That is going to leave me with a positive square root of 25. And yes, you could just see that those cancel out and give you 5. But for clarity's sake, I'm just going to give you the square root of 25 and see that we multiplied those 5s together. So that'll be 16 minus 8 square roots of 5 plus 5. And our final answer is 21 minus 8 square roots of 5. All right, so 20, I'll leave that one to you. That one's kind of fun. And I'll do 19 and maybe I'll set up 21 for you. All right, so 19, we're distributing. That will be the square root of 36k squared. You're going to find that that comes out nice and neat. Minus 2 square roots of 45k to the third. Now, for 19, the square root of 36 is just 6. And the square root of k squared is just k. So that works out nice and neat. After that, we have 45, which will be 3 and 15, and 3 and 5. This is a square root. So a 3 comes on the outside, a 5 stays on the inside. We're going to break this up into k squared and k to the first, okay? So, get it? Okay, wow. All right, and then we will divide that by our index. So dividing 2 by our index of 2 means we have 1k on the outside. And then the square root of 5k left. Now again, we can't combine these because they don't have, the first 6k does not have a index or a radical at all. So we're just going to leave it just like that, and we are finished. So for 21, I'll set this up for you. I'd like for you to challenge yourself and finish it out. To find the area you are multiplying, well, you'll have plenty of time. You'll have plenty of challenge on the homework. I'll do it with you. So this will be 28 square roots of 6. And multiply the first one. Let me do that in a different color so you can see. And then 4 square roots of 3. plus 4 square roots of 3. That will be a 1 in front of there, so that will be minus 7 square roots of 36. Yes, that'll end up as 6. And then minus the square root of 18. So that is just the area. And then we will simplify as much as possible. I think the only thing we can simplify is those latter two. 28 square roots of 6, 4 square roots of 3. That'll be 7 times 6, which we can go ahead and call negative 42. And the square root of 18, that will be 3 and 6, 3 and 2. That will be a 3 square root of 2. If I'm ever going too fast, you can pause the video if you're writing this down and catch up. Don't you wish you could have do that to me while we were still in class, in person? Some of you guys are like, whoa, slow down. Well, now you get the chance. You can pause me. All right, so I think the only thing that we can combine here, well, there's nothing. Nothing has the same radicand, right? So this will be 28 square roots of 6 plus 4 square roots of 3 minus 3 square roots of 2 minus 42. And I think that is it. Did I mess up somewhere? Nope, I think we are good. Maybe. I don't know. I'll double check it later. Maybe I'm just... It's kind of like one of those things where you spell a word and you're like, that doesn't look right. But it's right. So, I don't know. Maybe. Perimeter. So now we're just going to add everything up. So obviously we need to have 2 of these all the way around. So we're going to add that together by itself. And then we'll add the other 2 together as well. It's ugly, but it doesn't mean it's wrong. So that will be 8 minus 2 square roots of 6, and then plus 14 square roots of 6 plus 2 square roots of 3. Again, think of these as variables. So if you wanted to call the square root of 6 as x's, and then call the square root of 3 as y, you can see that those are going to combine together, right? So think of them as variables that can just be combined. Don't get too hung up on the fact that you're writing the radical sign like 100 times. So that will be 8 plus 12 square roots of 6 plus 2 square roots of 3, and that will be your final answer there. If you guys have any questions, as always, feel free to email me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.